Good to see you.
Tell you what, Dave, don't these weeks fly? We're here
Fly.
again. Well, tonight we've got a fun game, but a bit of an energetic game.
On a Friday night, Phil.
I know it's not good, especially after a week of work, and for you guys a week at school. But here we go. All you need is a pair of socks. A lovely pair of nice, clean socks. I've already given Dave some, and he's going to demonstrate in a minute.
Yes.
The only thing I will say for this game is you need a decent amount of space and a clear space. I think if there was tables and chairs and things in the way, it could get a bit interesting.
In the garden, Phil? In the garden?
Probably the garden's better on a nice sunny day. Do it in the rain if you want, but I think sunny days are better. So, you want 2 pairs of socks, and what you're going to do, if Dave does a little twirl, you're going to just tuck them in the back of your trousers. So, what I will say is, it'd be no good if you've got a dress on. So you need a pair of trousers on, and you just tuck them in like Dave had. And what you've got is not 1, but 2 tails. Got your tails there, Dave?
I think so, yeah, they're swishing around nicely.
And what the idea of the game is, we've got to try and grab each other's tails out of their pockets. Now, this is where it gets energetic, because you've got to obviously dodge each other and get out of the way so that Dave doesn't nick mine and I don't nick his. And what we're going to do, we're going to go 3, 2, 1, go, and we'll see who gets the first one, but then we'll reset again over these lines that we've got. You can choose wherever you want to do it. And we go again. Okay, see who wins. Ready, Dave?
Ready? Ready as I'll ever be, Phil.
Here we go. Right, here we go. We're just going to go over here to get ready. You ready, Dave?
Hang on.
Here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go! Come on in, come on in. Go in. That's one today. Reset. Out, ready. Well, I'll be running. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You're too fast for me, Phil. I feel like I'm on that foot down there. Well, there you go. Have fun. Have loads of fun. Oh, and dig it. See ya.
Well, this week we're doing a craft that's based on the parable that we've just been hearing all about, and it's a pretty simple craft this week. We've got some of these wooden sticks, these like craft type sticks, lolly type sticks, which are easy to get hold of in a shop. PVA glue. I've got a little bit of red card. You need hardly any red card, and just a little bit of that. Some paper, we'll sort that in a minute. I've got just a button, and you can use any shape button, any colour button for that matter. A pair of scissors, and I've bought some of this ribbon that's got hearts in it, and it's hearts that the important thing. I was hoping to get maybe some little foam hearts, but I couldn't find any, so that will do. Or you could even draw some hearts. That would work as well. So what we need, and I'm using 5 sticks. but it depends on the size of the sticks that you have. But we need 5 sticks that are like that. Make sure that they're nice and sort of in a straight line, hopefully. So making a bit of a bodge of this. That's not bad, is it really? We'll just do that. Okay. Then with the spare sticks that we've got, we need to put a bit of wood that just goes across there. So you need to sort of mark it with a pencil and then just cut it off, or perhaps an adult would saw it off for you maybe. And I've done that already, so I've got a couple that I've already done. What we're going to do, we're going to take the glue and we're going to run it along here. Hopefully it will work okay. Do that one. Ooh. And then we've got to put one down the bottom here, try and sort of towards the edges, and so we hold them all together. That's the idea. So like you get a bit of red card, and you're going to cut out. We're going to cut out a square that's going to fit sort of in the middle there. And I've done one of those already, and that's the one I've done already. I've jazzed mine up a bit. I put a bit of like decoration around the edge. You don't have to. You could just make it a square one. So I've got that. Then the other thing is we need a bit of paper. And I've typed it out. Mine says "Welcome Home." I've done that on the computer, but you could either do that or you could just write it on a bit of paper. And here's one again I've done earlier. So that is going to go on there. So if I just glue that on the back now, hopefully that'll. Then with this, I've got, as I say, I bought this ribbon, but you could just buy maybe little foam hearts if you can get them, or any sort of hearts. Maybe you can get buttons that are shaped like hearts as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to sort of decorate these two cross bits of wood there with those. And I've cut a couple of bits already that are the right sort of size, hopefully. So I'm going to. We're almost there. Lastly, we've got my button. So what I'm going to do with the button is, in fact, I'm going to put it on here. So I think you can see probably what it is now, can't you? And I'm going to do a blob about here, I think. There's a blob, a bit more maybe, I don't know. And get the button. I'll try and get it in the middle. Leave that there. I'll just leave that to set. So there we are. There's the finished article, and I've put a bit of metal around it there so I can hang it up. You could do that, or get some ribbon, or a bit of string, or even not bother at all. But it just reminds us that when we come to God, we receive a big, big welcome. Okay, bye now. Going to be talking about the parable of what's called the parable of the lost son, or the parable of the prodigal son, or even the parable of the good father. And this is what Jesus was telling the people, and it starts like this. He said, once there was a man, and he had 2 sons, and the younger of the 2 sons came to his father and said, "Father, I want you to give me half of everything that you would give me when you're going to die, but I want it now." Which was unusual. And his father said, "Well, okay." And so his father gave him half of everything that he owned. And so the son collected all his belongings up. And so he had a wallet with a whole wad of cash in it. And he got a travel book. Decided where he was going to go. Got his suntan lotion. Got some new clothes on, and decided to head off to faraway places and to forget about everybody else. And while he was there, he was spending his cash. And because he was spending all this money, people liked him. They thought, oh, he's a nice bloke. And so they used to hang around, and he had lots and lots of parties and fun and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, the money ran out. And there was no money left. And his friends, they deserted him. They didn't want to be with him anymore because he didn't have any money, so he was no use. And he was a bit in a bad state then. And life wasn't any fun then either. And so he was desperate, and he thought, well, what can I do? I've got no money left. What can I do? And the only thing that he could do was to find a job. And the only job that he could find in this faraway place was to work feeding the pigs. Now, he was a Jewish man, and feeding pigs was not something that Jewish men did. They didn't like pigs. They thought pigs were unclean. And they were. They were smelly. Dirty and horrible. But he was in such a bad way. That's the only job that he could do. And so he had to live with these pigs and muck out these pigs, and he got more and more desperate and more messy and more sad. And he got in such a bad place. And he even wanted to eat some of the pods that the pigs were eating. That's how hungry he was. And then he started to think, well, back where I used to come from, my father had servants in the house. Perhaps, just perhaps, I can go back there, and perhaps I can just become one of those servants in his house. At least I'd have some food in my stomach, because my stomach's rumbling. Oh. So that's what he decided to do. He decided he'd have to go back home and just face the consequences, face whatever was going to happen, and just perhaps be a servant, a slave as it were, in his father's house. And so he started to make the long journey back, all the way back to where he'd started. So the son's working his way back, and all the time his father's there. His father's looking around, he's looking out, and he's looking for his son. He's looking to see where he is. He's waiting for him. He's waiting for his son to come back to him. Then all of a sudden he sees him. There he is! And his father runs to him with his arms open wide like this. And he's, oh, my son's coming back, yes! And gives him a massive bear hug and says, I've missed you. Where have you been? Where have you been all this time? I'm so glad you're back. And he says to his servants, quick, my son's come back. Bring out the finest robe that you've got. So he gets his super duper robe. He says, give him this. I've got a gold ring somewhere. Where's the ring? He says, yeah, here's this ring. Put this ring on his finger. So he put the ring on his finger like that. And where's some sandals? He's got no shoes on. Get him some sandals. And so he got him some sandals. And he brought him inside, and he said, get the fatted calf. We're going to kill the fatted calf, and we're going to have a whopping great big party. The son had come back, and the father just loved to see him. And Jesus was trying to sort of tell the people that were listening that perhaps you in your life, you don't take any notice of God, and your life, it just carries on, and you perhaps ignore God, and he's perhaps looking out for you. He's wondering where you are. Will you come to him? Will you talk to him? Will you share your life with him? Because that's what he wants. And when you come to him, when you come to God, when you come to Jesus, he doesn't treat you in a way that perhaps you might think. He throws his arms open wide and says, you've come back. You've come back. I love you. I love to see you. Come to me. And there's such a great celebration. In heaven it says, when people come to God, when people accept Jesus as their Lord and Saviour. And that's the parable today.
Here we are again.
Here we are again.
For Phil versus
Dave.
or
Dave versus
Phil.
Woohoo!
Well, as you all probably have been watching, Dave is absolutely thrashing me.
Alright.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
it's now 3-1, I think. 3-1.
I can't remember.
No, I know. You couldn't. So, come on everybody, you need to cheer for me and get me on a win here. Because Dave is running away with it. Well, this week, I'm going to challenge you, Dave, to Cookie Face.
Cookie face.
Eating
Eating chocolate
face.
biscuits.
No.
Oh.
We may need to, well, not may, we will have to take our glasses off, I think, for this one, because I don't see how we're going to do it otherwise. And what we've got to do, you're going to take a chocolate digestive. You can use cookies if you wanted, but I've got chocolate digestives. And we're going to put them chocolate side down. What we have to do, we have to lean back, put it on his forehead, and then wiggle it down till it comes into our mouth. When it's in his mouth, we can take it off and put it on the plate. And we have to do all three off, on, and on the plate. First one to do it is the winner.
Ooh. What happens if it drops, Phil? What happens if it drops?
If it drops, you start again.
Ooh.
You put it back on your head and you go again until you can get all three in your mouth and on the plate.
Sounds good fun. Sounds
Okay.
messy.
Well, it just depends if you're hot. If you're hot, then you're going to get melted chocolate all down your face.
Okay.
Are you ready, Dave? Countdown. 3, 2, oh yeah, 1. Go,
We're
Dave!
off.
We're off. That is now 4. Dave, I got 1.
Oh dear.
You're that loser.
Next time, Phil, could be your time.
Okay, we'll try again, Dave.
We will.
Well, when you're finished, you know what the best bit is? You can have an eat. See ya.
See ya.